So Young Thug is back in the news. This time is for being a part of a fucking drug deal inside of a courtroom. This guy Michael Seaton broke the story, which says, exclusive, my colleague just obtained surveillance video that shows the moment prosecutors accuse Young Thug and his co-defendant Khalif Adams of conducting a hand-to-hand drug deal in court. We will watch the video later, but first let's look at the backstory behind this situation. Prosecutors say the surveillance shows Adams walk over to where Young Thug is seated with his attorney and then drop a Percocet in his hand. A deputy confronts Young Thug and he turns over the pill to authorities. Holy fucking shit. When deputies searched Adams, they found him in possession of Percocet, marijuana, and tobacco wrapped in plastic and food seasonings to conceal the odor of weed, according to investigators. Adams was taken to Grady Hospital after he appeared to ingest other items of contraband in an effort to conceal the extent of his crimes within the courtroom. Prosecutors filed a motion, asked the court to make a finding of fact that court was delayed on January 18, 2023 because of the actions of defendant Williams and the defendant Adams. And this is the statement from Young Thug's attorney Keith Adams responding to the allegations that Thugger was involved in the drug deal.
The reality is Mr. Williams had nothing to do with what went on in the courtroom on yesterday. One of the co-defendants on his way to the restroom attempted to pass something to Mr. Williams, who immediately turned it over to the deputy.
He did not know it was allegedly Percocet?
Did not know. Well, we don't know what it is. Did not know what it was, turned it over to the deputy right away. The deputies took action. The individual who had the contraband, not Mr. Williams, was taken into the back, where I'm told he ingested whatever he had. He had to be taken to the hospital, and as a result, court was terminated for the rest of the day. The reality is...
Okay, so that was the statement from Young Thug's attorney saying that Adams handed something to Thugger, which Thugger didn't know what really was, and he instantly gave it to the officer. So let's look at the video. This is the surveillance footage that shows what actually happened in the courtroom. So this is Thugger, this is the Adams guy. He stands up, walks over to Adams or to Thugger, hands him something as the officer is... The officer seems that he has given something to Thugger and instantly seizes it. And then they go and talk to Mr. Adams in the back or some shit like that. It's hard to really say for sure what happened here. I feel like Thug's defense of not knowing what he was actually given could stand in the court of law. I'm not a specialist on US laws, but I feel like if you're giving a illegal substance to someone in the fucking courtroom, there's something not right about that. But that's just my feeling. I may be wrong. But I feel like there are two possible scenarios that could have happened here. The first one is that Thug actually asked the guy to get him some perkies, some weed, some illegal substances, because he doesn't really give a fuck anymore. Like, if you're looking at life in prison, realistically, what are they going to do to you? You know? Like, if you're looking at 80 fucking years, if they throw in another couple of years, you don't really give a fuck. If you need a perk because you are having withdrawals or some shit like that, or just want to have some fun, then it doesn't really matter if they slap another couple of years onto your sentence. The other explanation I could think about is that the co-defendant, Mr. Adams, wanted to help his boss or be in his good favors or whatever the fuck, and he just decided to bring him something that Tucker might reward him for. I don't really know. It's hard to say for sure. If you look at this situation objectively, it just doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, first of all, I don't understand why the fuck would you be dealing with drugs or illicit substances in the fucking courtroom at all. That just doesn't make sense to me. As I said, I think it could be the case that they just both don't give a fuck anymore. Given the fact that fucking 300 or something like that witnesses will be testifying against Tug in his trial, could indicate that he just doesn't give a fuck. He just wants to make his stay in prison a little more enjoyable. He wants to pop a perky, maybe smoke some weed, smoke a spliff. It doesn't really matter. If you know you are going to spend the rest of your life in jail, then I could see how you don't really give a fuck if you get caught doing something like that. Keep in mind, there are fucking police officers in this building, in this courtroom at the moment. So it's a pretty long shot that they won't get caught by anyone. There's like 30 fucking people in this room alone and multiple police officers. So if you're doing something like that, you would anticipate that you will get caught. And that brings me to the point that I don't really think they give a fuck whether they get caught or not. Because as I said, if you're looking at a life in prison, then you won't give a fuck if they just throw a couple of years onto your sentence, you know? But let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. If you've enjoyed the video, leave a like. And if you want to see more videos, feel free to subscribe.